This is Andy Purewell for Boxing News, joined by promoter Eddie Hearn here in London. Eddie, busy week last week in Las Vegas, here in London now for Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. Got to coming together. What's going on here, Eddie?
It's Willie Hutchinson.
Eddie, I was about to ask, obviously Vegas last week, London this week. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Yeah, I was a little bit run down early in the week, had a little bit of a snivels, but I'm good, mate. I mean, how can you not be pumped? Do you know what I mean? I mean, you come over here and you've taken over the whole of Trafalgar Square, Riyadh season, gone above and beyond. And I can't wait for Saturday night. I think if this fight card gels, it'll be one of the best you've ever seen. We know it's going to be phenomenal, but there's every chance this could just blow the socks off anything we've ever seen before.
Both Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois have been on very good runs recently, obviously both with different trainers. What would this victory do in terms of that statement? Because when you compare it to Otto Wallin and Francis Ngannou, Daniel Dubois is a far more established heavyweight.
Well, you can say that after. You know, I mean, yes, established heavyweight. Otto Wallin was on great form, had a great fight with Tyson Fury, beat Gassiev in Russia. He's a good heavyweight, but just because AJ demolishes him, no one gives him any credit for being a great opponent. But before, it was a really tricky fight. He might beat him. Ngannou, in my opinion, beat Tyson Fury. He dropped him, he gave him fits. AJ destroys him, yeah, but he's an MMA fighter. But I agree, Dubois coming into this as a real heavyweight contender, a big threat, a big puncher. It's a brilliant fight. You know, and I want that. You know, I want AJ to win this fight and be crowned world heavyweight champion. And no one can deny him that opportunity to call himself a three-time world heavyweight champion. And it's not going to be easy in there tomorrow night, but I'm very confident he does it.
A lot of people expect to see this fight catch fire quite early. Do you expect to see something similar?
Yes, I think that, you know, there is an argument that it could be a little bit cagey. Both guys will be fully aware that both guys can really punch. So sometimes you got to be careful in there. But, you know, if someone loses their mind in the ring walk or the emotions of the night, maybe the game plan goes out the window. And I wouldn't be surprised if it caught fire very early.
AJ's had far more experience with bigger names in different fights, but Dubois has fought, obviously, Kevin Lerena on the Fury Chisora free card at Spurs. He's fought in Poland against Alexander Usyk. He has stadium experience.
Another level. I mean, you know, when he fought Lerena, it wasn't really that busy. It was early on in the night. Didn't go very well either, by the way. He lost against Usyk. So, yeah, every stadium fight he's had, you know, there's been a lot of trouble for him in. This is another level. Do you know what I mean? I keep saying, I don't really feel necessarily that the occasion will affect his chances. It just might affect what he does in there. Do you know what I mean? And I think, you know, like I say, if the plan is to be a little bit smarter, I think that might go out the window. I think it could set fire early.
I know everything was kind of squashed over the last couple of days, but there was those rumours that Don Charles was still questioning if he'll be in attendance or not tomorrow. But what did you make of all of that? If he had split with Daniel, we know he hasn't. But
I mean, it's not ideal for him, but I don't know if it's true. You know, Mr. Warren to my left said it's absolute rubbish. I expect to see him in the corner tomorrow night. If he's not, I don't even think that will really make a massive difference. I just think Daniel might just go out for a tear-up, and I think in that respect, it doesn't matter who's in his corner.
How twitchy would your backside be if that was what we was to see, just Daniel come out and...
I think that'll play into AJ's hands. I mean, it does make it more dangerous, but I think AJ will knock him spark out if they do that. He's so sharp, AJ, at the moment. He's so clever. He's going to set traps everywhere. Ben Davison's got the game plan down to a T. But in the heavyweight division, these guys carry serious power and they're very dangerous.
I know there's obviously going to be a lot of talk about that Fury fight next year. Is that the plan, or having just spoke to Joseph Parker, he's keen to face the winner of Saturday night?
Oh, Joseph, yeah. I mean, I love Joseph Parker. I'm not saying AJ's not interested in that fight, because he's actually up for fighting Joseph Parker and anyone, but I don't feel like that's in our immediate plans. You know, I'd like to see Joseph Parker against Ajit Kabayel. I think that's a great fight.
Just also want to get your thoughts, looking back now on Canelo Berlanga, a bit of time to reflect.
Yeah, I thought Edgar did really well. I mean, look, he was fighting at a level that he's never been at before. It's difficult to go in there with that confidence, but what I liked is when he got dropped, you know, it was kind of like a flash knockdown. It was a beautiful left hook. He got up and he was trading with Canelo, you know, and throughout the fight he took chances. He wasn't good enough on the night. That's no disgrace to a pound-for-pound star, but he showed a lot of balls. He showed a great boxing IQ and he showed a great chin. and great heart. And I feel like we've got a new star coming out of that fight. And he'll be back in probably February in a big fight. Love to take him to Puerto Rico.
I have to ask you, we saw Terence Crawford and Turki Al-Sheikh both call out Canelo after the fight over at the UFC event, and Canelo in his post-fight press conference didn't really want to answer that. If he doesn't fight Crawford, if it isn't Benavidez, where do you think Canelo goes?
I don't know. You know, I mean, Pacheco's going to be ordered as the mandatory, but I don't think that's going to be till later on next year. He can do whatever he wants, can't he? I don't know. Charlo, I don't think so. You know, I think the pressure's on a little bit for him to have a big fight.
What did you make of Alexander Usyk being detained by police in the airport?
I was with Alex Krasuk last night and Vladimir Klitschko, and sounds like a mistake, you know, and all solved very quickly.
Devin Haney's come out and said that a fight was offered to Teofimo-Lopez, but Teofimo turned it down. What can you tell me about that?
He actually messaged me last night. I've got to get back to him. Not aware of that. You know, I did have conversations myself with His Excellency about Devin fighting on the October card. Didn't get it done, but you know, I'm sure Devin will be back soon.
Was Lopez one of those names that was mentioned? And final one, the Ben Shalom seemingly confrontation on the stage. What can you tell me yesterday?
I mean, it depends what you call a confrontation. Certainly not from me. You know, I just don't like the way that he phones all the media outlets and gets him to take down all the videos and edit them and change them. You know, the whole idea of this forum is that what I say goes out, and that's always been the way. But that's a separate issue anyway. But I mean, in the world I live in, no confrontation.
Likely you guys don't do any business anytime soon outside of Riyadh season?
Anytime. But again, like when we talked about it on camera the other night, he's not actually prepared to make the fight. So until he is, there's no business to do.
Eddie, cheers.
Cheers, mate.